You are preparing your applications for college. You have always heard about Harvard University and the advantages that come with attending such an elite university. You realize that with Harvard accepting the coalition and common applications, that you have already completed the demographic, academic report, and activities for their application. So why not just add your application to those Harvard is receiving this year? Hi, I'm Margaret Meek, and this is why applying to Harvard may not be your best option. Being accepted to Harvard is a blessing. There is generous help through the school for those whose family income is less than $150,000. There is an extensive network of alumni to help support your career search, and the academic rigor is worthy of the school's reputation. But that doesn't mean you should apply. Why should you not apply to Harvard? Let's look at the numbers. For perspective, Harvard accepts about 2,000 students every year. But you have a perfect high school GPA. So do 8,000 other applicants. You are ranked first in your high school class. So are 4,000 plus applicants. You have a strong 700 plus score on your SAT reading and writing test, as do 18,000 other applicants. You have done really well on your math test and scored over 700 points. Yep, you aren't the only one. In fact, that makes you one of about 20,000 applicants who scored well on their math test. These numbers come from Harvard's report on their 2022 selection process. In fact, that one school had 61,220 applicants. Thus, you may meet or exceed all of these benchmark qualifications and still not be selected for acceptance. So once these metrics are measured, what else does Harvard take into account when making selections? Here is the statement on selection from Harvard on their applicant pool document. Harvard College uses a whole person review which treats each applicant as an individual. The admissions committee considers each applicant's unique background and experiences alongside grades and test scores to find applicants of exceptional ability and character who can help create a campus community that is diverse on multiple dimensions, including on academic and extracurricular interests, race, socioeconomic background, and life experiences, and who can take advantage of all that Harvard offers and contribute to the learning and social environment for their classmates. Factors such as life experiences, overcoming adversity, or specific talents are particularly important when deciding who will be offered admissions." End quote. The admissions committee will measure academic rigor, leadership, and character as reflected in your recommendation letters, alumni interviews, awards won, and essay content and composition. Also included are your race, ethnicity, background, and additional considerations. In other words, there's a great deal of relative information measured and inserted into your status given your application. Now, before you think we are picking on Harvard, please understand that we simply have more of their admissions information available publicly because of the affirmative action case they recently argued in front of the United States Supreme Court. Students for Fair Admissions v. President and Fellows of Harvard College. Any school that has a low acceptance rate is making the same type of calculations on whom to accept. All colleges and universities work the admissions process to bring in students who are prepared for the coursework, likely to stay through graduation, and who show initiative and promise as they pursue their degree. If you use the link in the description of this video, it will take you to a posting on our website where you will find admissions decision information for Howard, Harvard, the University of Texas, UCLA, and the University of North Carolina. Each of these schools is selective. For the University of North Carolina, the current freshman class statistics give a very strong indication of what is valued by the university and how the applicant pool is culled down to their acceptance list. At UNC, their acceptance pool is 63% female, 37% male. 50% were born in North Carolina, 12% were born outside the United States. 86% have at least one parent who earned a 2- or 4-year degree, which puts their first-generation college student population at less than 20%. 3% have no parent who earned a high school diploma, and 50% have at least one parent who earned a graduate degree. Through all of this, you need to know the college or university's approach to legacy applicants. Legacies are students who have had family members graduate from that school. Each school has a different relationship with legacies, so be sure you investigate how being a legacy plays in the admissions decision. Just to give you a reason to trust us and look at the legacy policy at each college, 30% of Harvard acceptances in 2022 fall into this category. You will also compete against those who are recruited and accepted as athletes. It is not unusual that the athlete's prowess on the field makes them more desirable than you and your perfect high school record. It is also important to remember that for each college, unless you are given a fee waiver, you are going to pay $85 or more just to be considered. Each of the selective schools makes millions of dollars on application fees from students who do not make the cut. And then there is the question of how to pay for school. As mentioned earlier, Harvard does have programs to help students whose families cannot afford the tuition costs. The cost of attending Harvard for a year in tuition and fees is more than $75,000. Once accepted, you enter the competition for aid to help reduce the cost to your family. This kind of cost support is available through most universities, but you will not know the level of funding available until you are accepted. From Nest to Wings wants to encourage every one of you to apply to schools that meet your projected educational plans and goals. Schools that are a good fit with your personality will provide your ideas and assumptions with challenge while giving you support as a person. A college or university that will not bankrupt your future to pay for your education. A school that has your preferred and second choice degrees so that you can test out different disciplines and then make a decision for your future. If you believe your qualifications are competitive and Harvard would be a great answer for you and your future, go for it. We wish you all the best in your quest. But if you are thinking you will just give it a try because, think long and hard. Remember that with more than 3,000 colleges and universities in the U.S., there are any number of schools that will match your needs, financial constraints, localities, or types of universities. I'm going to tell you a universal truth. It isn't where you go to school, it's what you do with your education. If you are willing to work hard, learn well, and challenge yourself, the college you attend becomes less and less important as you move forward. A student who coasts through Harvard is not going to be as successful in the long run as a student who graduates from a state school and knows how to do the work. Choosing what colleges will be blessed with your application is not an easy choice. You need to apply to a number of schools that match your needs and qualifications. Balance your belief in yourself with the realities of each college's admissions qualifications. Make wise choices now, choices that will allow you to support yourself, your family, and your profession as you move forward. If you found any of this information useful, hit the like button or perhaps consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below.